John here. It's Tuesday, 29th of July 2014. I'm just ringing Philip Hammond in London. He's the Secretary of State, Minister of Foreign Affairs, taking up his new position, UK, Britain. So I want to call him. I tried earlier, I couldn't get through, and I'll ask him a few questions if I can get to see if I can get across to England and sit down with him to sort out our trust fund I've been talking about earlier. You'll see on another video, but I think it didn't come out too well. The sound, I've got not much good gear. Anyway, let's try and see if I can get through this time. I'm just going to put another number with the number 020, then a 3. That didn't work. 0 2 0 7 0 8 9 5 0 0. Let's.
Your call is unable to proceed at this time. Please try again later. Your call is unable to proceed at this time. Please try again later.
Okay, we can't get through. So anyway, I've been trying for a while now to get through to Philip Hammond. So I'll just run through, because our last video was quite a long one. I'll try and make a short one this time. And because we want to get across to see him in Westminster to audit our trust fund. That's the Queen Victoria and Maui Hapu natives in 1844. She set up this trust for us. She's the niece of King William IV. He has the Admiralty jurisdiction of manifest, that means shipping cargo from one country to the other. Before him, it was William Patterson put the Bank of England together in 1694, and then King William III passed an act of the Bank of England Act, and then that went around Britain and parts of Europe with that Admiralty law. And then King William came in 1830. Court Succession Act he put together, and then he put the commercial contract lien mortgage documents together with a seal authenticating those documents to go to the Bank of England, borrow some money, get on a ship and sail free passage through the well with this flag he gave us in 1835. So that flag became the Declaration of Independence, a sovereign nation state here in Aotearoa, New Zealand. It has 4 stars in the corner on the left hand top, which is Naho E Wha. That's the 4 corners of the earth. 4 corners of the earth, and each point represents 1 for Queen Victoria ship, and the other 7 points for 7 waka canoes from 7 different countries in the Pacific. So you got Samoa, Tonga, or Rarotonga, and Rapa Nui, and some other little islands, Hawaii, and so that trust was set up in 1844 to split up the tax that was collected by the government acting on our behalf here in New Zealand and sent back to the Queen in England. Okay, that's for the occupation of our lands. They paid for the use of our land to live on. So that's number one. Number two is that they spent their money they got, come here, and went into the Manukau Harbour. First time from Britain. I'm talking about Britain, not Australia. Titles, the government in Wellington is Australian, New South Wales government. Okay, so that sovereignty came here and went mad and rampant, selling lands they're not supposed to, because they had no sovereignty. You're not allowed to take sovereignty from Australia and put it into this country. So the British came along and confiscated it all. Then they sold these lands second hand, without surveying them, and especially in Auckland, in the Manukau Harbour. Sold Cornwallis lands and the New Auckland, that's what they call it, New Auckland, with bush. Sold it to the immigrants who were coming, shipping out in 1840. That was 1835, between then and 1840. So at that time, our flag was flying on our ships. And then that was supposed to protect them with British protectorate, that King William put his black seal on there. That's why it's got that black around the red cross and the little red cross in the corner left and top to keep Satan out. The Satan, he knew his family that well, and all the dragons of Parliament competing against each other, the French and the Germans and Scottish and Dutch and everybody twirling around the Pacific at the time. So anyway, the English ended up coming here from Britain, and the French missed out. They went down the South Island, the French. So they still came in here and didn't pay anything for the use of our land. That's why Britain jumped in and started collecting money off them and put the order to the government. Wellington are responsible for picking up the rent on the land, ground rent, or at that time was called a tax, land tax, and send it back to the Queen of England. Now, these ones here are still doing it. But they said, why should they deal with the Queen in England? Well, she's back here again through Sean Elias, right? There's some skullduggery, fraud going on here. I'm going to investigate with King William's title of Admiralty Court Martial Law. You'll see on the Facebook, that court bench is straight to the King's Bench in London. Not the Queen's Bench, the King's Bench, right? Talking for the King in that capacity, with our flag and the Moai statue standing in London, standing in New York, Washington DC, standing in Brussels, Singapore, and New Zealand here, Chile. Just to name a few places where he's standing, in powerful places. France, he's in France too. So, that's our title. That's the memorial to this earth. Right? They put them there because it's a title on the earth where he stands. They don't realize that the carving on the back is our chief, okay, of the time, and that's our signature title. So, between that and King William, those are two titles, Memorial and King William, the man himself, until we get another king. Anyway, between the king, with his ship to go from one place to the other, to carry the cargo and the gold and anything else that was HM Customs, is private, right? Private, not corporate, private, right? So the king, through the Queen Victoria, to Queen Elizabeth, created the money from the tax, paid the Rothschilds for loaning their money from their bank, okay, from their Rothschild banks. So the principle of these immigrants coming here to live was our money. Our trust was run by the Queen as a head trustee, the King and Queen of Spain, trustees, and Prince Andrew, trustee. Okay, 4 trustees, still there now. Okay, so Karen Hudes saw no one was claiming that trust and put a claim in for it. Went through a lot of trouble, went to England, over the internet, I must say, and tried to make them accept her claim to make coins out of the money for humanity. Well, this thing hasn't got the word humanity on it. It's only got indigenous people of Aotearoa and England, and their expats living over here come here protected by this flag from King William for their occupation here. They're still in occupation. So what I'm saying here is this, what I'm thinking about it, that Cook Street, 61 Cook Street, is still in occupation, same as it was back then. And because they've committed fraud, the past owner, Doug Rickard Bell, and he sold it, while we supposed to have our names registered on it. That's Manukau, the Wanoa, Moai, because the Moai statue's here, on up here at the memorial, War Memorial Hall, Moai standing up there, okay, and Paraparas, and the Kawharu, right? Those names supposed to be on these titles down here in Auckland. It's not. They didn't put them on. I ordered them to put it on, but they didn't. Paid for the registration, land information. They said we have no interest. Right? The same as what Karen Hudes said to me on Facebook. I have no interest in that trust. And that didn't go down too well. So, on top of that, she says, I'm confused. I think she'll be more confused now since I put the ship there, the Shosevo, with our flag flying on it, as the manifest, and the HM, customs, and also the ship itself, the ocean monarch, the word monarch, and then Prince Andrew saying he's the ambassador for Britain, UK, right? At the present time, he's promoting business, commerce. Those two words, business, commerce, is their flag. That flag is a commercial trading bank, mortgage lien, partnership, business, contract, flag, wrapped up in one with a protectorate military black seal, that the military here, Navy, are there for us and their people who come here from Britain, living here, expats. Okay? And our private investigator, Graham Ellett, is one of them. He's an ex-detective from England, right? He's living here. So, he is looking after our business and these contracts, right? And so, he'll come with us to England and sort them out and go and chase after where all this gold is gone, or who's got the instruments. We're going to audit the whole lot of the account, the gold of the HM Treasury of Queen Elizabeth Windsor, while she is now a convicted criminal felon, default convicted felon, right? In the World Court, crimes of church and state, found guilty. Okay, so in that case, it'll take a monarch like us, myself, and Jamie, Patrick Stewart, Ngatai. Stewart owns Scotland Yard. Scotland Yard. Okay? When we go there, she carries that name and the Patrick name, and the Ngatai name here with the Wanoa name. So those are two names that have some say here. and we're going along with those titles. It's been something for the Crown to argue about who's who. Now, the Queen has stepped out of Westminster and gone to the European Union Parliament, signed a contract or some sorts with the Pope, Church of England, joined the Church of England to the Catholic Church, and put their skullduggery together. Where she's gone, she's taken our trust. Where she sits in the EU Parliament, she signed the Lisbon Treaty in 2008, 16th of July, with Gordon Brown. Now, from that time, she was gone as sovereign from here in New Zealand. I told John Key in affidavits back then, I told Helen Clark and John Key and the Governor General and Anne Satinan, the Indian, you cannot open Parliament because you've got no Queen. Okay? And right up till now, last year, all of a sudden, Anne Tolley, the then Minister of Police, rushed through the Act of Parliament in one day, 3 royal assents on one act to change the constable's oath of office, because they had no right in the local districts to use their oath on offenders. Now, Tuhoi was caught up in that time with the police were using their authority outside of their jurisdiction. Right? We caught them in affidavits. They're in trouble many times over. I told them, you're creating treason if you open the Parliament up. So what did they do? John Key opened the Parliament up with Sean Rice, as crooked as hell. She's the judge of the Supreme Court. And went to England, talked with the Queen, made up some more skullduggery, came back. She was running the government, right? She had the authority as a Chief Justice to order the government open with the Queen's order, right? While the Queen wasn't the Queen. You see? And that's our trustee. He's acting fraudulently, corrupting the whole monarchy system right there. That's what I'm telling you. True story. So you know, Philip Hammond, why I'm coming to England. And Matt Taylor is going to publish this, what I'm saying, in the Guerrilla News, so that everybody in the world knows. You can't escape Facebook because it's locked, sealed in King William's seals. You'll notice the documents are affidavits. Most of them, over 3,000, are affidavits. You can't change them. The ignorance of New Zealand and the British government and everybody else here, the Maoris, ignored everything I ever wrote. Well, I think it's cost you. It cost you now because you've got no say. Because we're going to pull them out one by one, block off anyone who's trying to refute anything we say, right? Because it's past the time. And Judge David Lindsay Mackey in the High Court of Admiralty in London has got the complaint. Okay, it's lodged in there, and we don't need to go there at all. We can deal private. Okay, that's what the police are doing here, acting private prosecution, right? And being one of us, stepping out of their corporate system into ours. So anyway, I just want to tell you, 61 Cook Street. I'll get a reply back from the CIB, Philip Taylor and Michael Donaldson. I'll write to them tomorrow. I'll get a reply, the same as what you see on Facebook, what I got from Philip for Julian Falconer, LLP lawyer, who put together a deal for me from the HM Treasury in London for £16 million inheritance fund Oh yeah, they knew what they were doing, and also Martin Cicluna from the Lloyds Bank. Now, Graham will go after them. He'll find them. They won't get far. He'll find them. And if you're watching this video YouTube, he'll find you. And in your country, Malaysia, or in London. Okay? So, I'm holding Lloyds Bank responsible, liable, because they did nothing about it. Right? They did nothing about their photos I put on Facebook. And also Julian Falconer, LLP, in Canada and Britain. That company is going to get a big bill for not doing anything about it. Me advertising their name. It came off the Chambers of Commerce and LinkedIn. Those two reputable websites. That's where I took their names and their businesses and put my business and advertised the tidal turbines. We lost over 30,000 in that deal, and they carted it away, and put me through a lot of trouble. That's why we're lacking now in resources. That I want Philip Hammond to advance on that trust till we get there, so we can get there and start our projects between here and Britain. Now I want because the flag is still live, it's being used. I know that Prince Andrew is going under a admiralty of a king. Okay, so I want to investigate him and the use of our seals with the Queen and the Vatican City and the City of London and the federal states using our seals. If they're using our seals, we're going to bill them. 1141, 900 million trillion. That figure of the World Bank audit set of accounts, OPPT put together, and they foreclosed on it, and we foreclosed on that. So that's all in writing. As statements before the Agenda 21 kicks in, before the New World Order kicks in, all of that is forfeited against all of you. And also the gold trust that's sitting there, that Karen Hudes has blown a whistle on and said it's here and there and there. The British military, with a king's order from me, because I have a legal right in the Admiralty law to make law, right? I make law with affidavits. My word against yours, you don't refute it, law. It's law. We do it online, straight into that Rolls building, High Court of Admiralty in London, as King's Bench, not Queen's Bench. That's a Queen's Bench. So they can't act as the King's Bench, not at all, because they have no jurisdiction to do that. Only us, with the flag. The flag is everything. We're going there for purpose to settle account of the Queen and our trust. Sack the trustees, the four of them, sack them. After we've billed all of them, the British government is responsible. We're holding them liable to recover all of that money I just said in pound notes. 790 million trillion pounds in gold bullion in the first instance. Gold bullion, the balance in pound notes, okay, in the Moai Royal Bank. Moai Sovereign World Royal Bank, okay, in other words, in short, the Moai Royal Bank. You'll see a few things going together now. The golden dragon is battle. That's its meaning, battle and gold, right? That's Parliament. That's our Moai Crown Federal State government, right? And dual government with the British government, okay? Two of the same. We can run off the same as what New Zealand did running off the British government, and then trying to do it themselves. They're in trouble because they've got nowhere to go. They're going to run out of a flag because the British will tell them, you don't use that flag anymore. That's why they're trying to find a new flag. We're going to go straight in. After I come back from Britain, more or less they're gone. But we're going to build them before they go. We're going to build them and seize everything. We're just going to let the private investigators go for it. Okay? And block the borders. And seize everything to pay for the bill that been fraudulent. Everything that the Queen has done is now linked to everybody who's been using the Queen as their authority and jurisdiction to be on these lands. So they're accessories to the fraud. That's including the police. That's what I'm saying to Aaron Pascoe, Senior Detective Sergeant of the Criminal Investigation Officer in the Auckland Central District Police Station, and Mike Clement, the Area District Commander of Police. Okay, those two, and Mike Bush, the new Commissioner of Police in Wellington. This video is for you to listen to. That we're going to go straight into Cook Street and seize that property because of the fraud land transaction, because they didn't put our names onto that title as an interest, not so much as what's on it or what's been invested in it, but in land interest. Now we're going to seize it for the whole lot of the fraud. 5 billion New Zealand dollars adds up to all the offenders who had a hand in committing the crime. Okay, so you're all accessories to the Queen, that all your documents have sworn your oath to the Queen. It's no use trying to swear to something else, like the community or to the French Admiralty. It's just an affidavit. It'll never stack up beside the British Admiralty and Maui title. He's standing there as large as life in the biggest states of the world. So you can forget about trying any tricks to get around this time. No wonder Mike Bush apologized to Tuhoi Hapu for what they did to use the Terrorism Act on them. See, they use federal state law illegally because they don't have the jurisdiction to practice it here. Neither does Australia. They made fools of themselves, and Canada, and America. I mean, fools of themselves because they don't have the original British Admiralty title, a real ship Admiralty title, not in command like Obama. This fake title. That's not going to last long because we can take him to court and at the end of it. So I'm just telling the police we're going to be reasonable. You just leave us alone so we can do our business on our own land, because I'm telling you, you're occupying the land. We can terminate your occupation on the land by cutting off your interest payment to the Queen because she ain't there in real legal terms now, because I'm sacking her. We sacked her anyway at Waitangi, but she's still going. You see, she ignored what we did at Waitangi, was sacked her and sacked Anand Satanan at the time. That's why I said John Key had no right to open Parliament while they had no Governor General. We sacked them on spot, but they didn't listen. That was a confederation. I'm here for the confederation of chiefs at Waitangi. If you're listening to this, Kingi Toto and Papa Hei Hei and all the other chiefs up there, you know who I am, and you know I don't do this for myself. I'm just doing what I think is the right thing to do. Okay? This is a big thing. It's not that easy. to go and do something like this right in the face of adversity coming from Britain, right? You just have to know or don't know, and you could be wrong, and it can go the other way. So I put my head on the block here to get this far, Mohi Manukau, Dale Wihongi, and Hare o Te Tonga, and Dick, the other Dick from up there. Anyway, he's gone. Dick Kake, Rick Kake, he's gone. And some of the other ones that have given me a lot to get this far. And we got Sue Nikora in Gisborne, the most proficient professional in married terms of knowing what to do. She was with Jeffrey Palmer, Sir Jeffrey Palmer, the Governor General, Prime Minister. 1986, put the 1986 Constitution together. She put it together with him, and the Maori titles. You see? So, that was illegal. Right? That was illegal. But she's taken a delegation to the UN. I'm just telling you, Philip Hammond, I'm the legal advocate for the Confederation going to the UN to claim the 59th seat on the Congress, and going to the World Court. They're going to the World Court to make all the claims against this government down here. I'm going to go right past that and go straight to you and in their troubles going there, because I don't like the look of the UN and how they're handling and the NATO handling these people in Gaza and Syria and all those places have been caused by the UN and the NATO standing by and watching it happen and not do anything about it. You know, so they're borrowing their money, and the World Bank is borrowing their money from our trust. Yeah, I'll just tell you one more time. They're borrowing the money from the Queen Victoria HM Treasury Fund, the Akaroa Bank, and our trust money that's gone out of here to prop the whole world up and borrow money under these instruments. Under these instruments, these legal mortgage, lien, loan, bank loan, certificate of title instruments. Okay, there's only one fellow that put that together, King William IV, to trade on our trading flag. Okay, so Prince Andrew is the ambassador for Britain, UK. Message to you. I want to see which authority you get, whose jurisdiction are you using in Admiralty law to manifest everything you ship from one place in the world on your free passage. Where do you get the free passage wedge from? Where did that come from? And who gives you authority from something that belongs to us, the beneficiaries of the trust that your mum is running rampant and illegally and fraudulently? That's what I'm saying. All right? I'm saying it's a scam right in front of you. It's for you to say it's not. I want to hear you say it's not and show me how it's not. And tell the Queen, open her mouth and say something, because I've said enough against her and put her in a box. You could see online on that court on Facebook. It's admissible evidence in the High Court of Admiralty in London. That court is set up especially for big cases that have integrity and factual information, because the judge gets more, right? He gets more big cut out of big deals. And so we don't need to go there. So he misses out if we don't have to go there. Only if someone refutes any of the affidavits we got online, too late now, then we go straight there. What happens? They lose. Why? Because they haven't got enough evidence. and the judge doesn't have to look around for answers because everybody knows. Okay? Everybody knows everything on Facebook. You just have to prove that it's wrong and defend your name. That's humiliating you. And John Key, his name is in the box. It's not a joke. What I'm doing. It's serious. It's serious allegations against all of you people in Parliament. With your names in there, Helen Clark's government, she's not going to get away with it. Right? She's got a bill coming to her in the UN. Right? We won't be having any more funds from this bank anymore. When we take in there, go in there and sack the four of them. Okay? That's what I'm going to England for. Sack them. Because why? It's our trust. Everything derived from Admiralty law of King William IV with the authenticating seal on those documents of manifest and transportation around the world on ships, planes, and any means of transporting private property under customs to the Queen and the British government belongs to us. Okay? They're doing that job on our behalf. That's how a trust works, and every other trust in this country. The trustees and the land returns. The land, the whole, everything, 17 trillion pounds worth of land that's in her name, come back. Moai sees the whole lot. Why? Because he's running our trust. Right? Everything the Queen owns, we own. That's what I'm telling you. Prove it otherwise. Okay? Prove it otherwise. I've already made statements there to claim it all. All I had to do is go to Hammond, make a deal with him. He go and collect it. Right? He get his cut out of it. We'll make the terms. Right? They didn't give us instructions with that flag. They didn't tell us how to use the flag. They didn't say to us, you're going to get 50% and we're going to get 50%, or we're going to get 80% and you get 20%. No, this time they're going to get what we give them. Because why? They have no say. Why? It's because that deal was between the Queen, Victoria, and her people over here. It didn't say anything about the people over anywhere else. It said the people over here, to protect them from, to come here and exploit the resources to send back to her. Okay? That's what, for this country. Then whatever they've done, whatever those trustees have done to go around the world and do it to other countries in the Commonwealth, also they belong to us. Why? It's because they're our trust. It's not anybody else's trust. They didn't sign the contract. And they're not using the flag. Whose flag they're using? Who said so? Who said they can come in our contract between us and Queen Victoria? Who said? Lawyers can't say anything. They have no say. I learnt my lesson from this lawyer, Julian Falconer, and that banker, Martin Cicluna, from London, on the documents that I put on today, so you can see how much trouble they put me through. Okay? So I learned how to be a lawyer, beyond a lawyer, and how to be a banker, beyond a banker. Okay? So now we can do our own thing from a few lessons in 2 years to learn how to do that, which stopped all our projects. Philip, it stopped all our projects that would have been going now between Britain and here. So now, I'm asking you, we want to access those funds right now to get us to England, to bring the military here, to set them up, pay for it all, on our land block at Rangitukia, East Cape. Okay? Where you can see, I put the pictures there, for you to look at the plan. That's it. It's a big project. It's a big project. And each of those projects I put together is 20 billion each, pounds. Okay? In Britain, Scotland, and New Zealand here, Africa, and India, and Russia, and China. Okay? The countries. There's 250 countries altogether. So, no one's put anything to it yet. Yeah? I'm waiting for someone to jump in and fund it. Nobody. Not one. Not one. So, we're going to get our fund. That's ours. In the Bank of England. All the gold we put on the site with that dragon, they'll have to test that dragon out, see how wild it is. Oh, Jamie, she can dance around in front of it. And the golden dragon. Right? The golden dragon is all about gold. God's gold. And so we're going to make it fair and split the whole lot up into 250 countries. Right? The other countries are under the sea. Right? They've got to come out. Mu Island in the Pacific. That's Pacific, my Pacific Ring of Fire. That island's going to come out and join all the islands together. Right? Except New Zealand. It'll always be on its own. Okay? So all these chemtrails, all the poison in the water, the fish, you're going to get billed. You're going to get billed from all your plans, you get shot down. Okay? You get shot down by the British military because it's a threat to our air, to the earth operation, how the earth works, the weather, the flooding, the earthquakes. You're going to get stung. The Vatican and the Jesuits, you're going to get stung by the people once we divvy this up. It belongs to the people. Okay? All that. Now, we make the decisions on where all that wealth goes. Okay? We'll make the decision, not the way the World Bank was going to do it. And the US got no money. In debt, they get nothing. This is the Vatican. Well, I say to the Vatican, you've got to get investigated. If you're found to be fraud, the British government will get a king's order from me and all the other ones behind me. All the chiefs are sitting here with their flag. I'm not the only one. I'm not the only one with their flag. They'll wake up soon and claim the flag. And so they will replace me if you think I'm worth putting on a tree. Okay? So don't think for 1 minute about me being a threat, because I'm going to Westminster Parliament. I'm going to tell Hammond, stick me in there to help straighten the place out. Okay? Straighten the place out and make it go good. And get the pedophiles out, you lot, all you church people, the Jesuits and all that, out you go. Right? We don't need you. We don't need you. Can take your churches out. And the people will soon follow that order. Right? It's a good order. Yeah? Not the New World Order, supposed to kick in with their Agenda 21. Well, I put a notice there. Right on the 27th, 1 day out from the 28th, Christine Lagarde and your lizard mouth talking riddles, numbers, all upside down, trying to fool everybody. You can't fool Moa. Do not try and fool Moa. He's watching you up there. If there's any UFOs running around, real ones, it's probably him. Okay? So they know who's who. No use trying to use scientific words to fool Moai. Okay? I'm here talking for Moai. I'm here talking for King William. Right? When I go, someone else talk. Right? So we're coming. Jamie and I, and HRH Prince Regent, Geoffrey Ross Foley, Lord High Constable, Magistrate of Loyal Hayden Castle in Wales, new King of England, going into Westminster. Philip as the new King of England, and everything will be alright. Everything will be alright. He's a 600 AD John Foley, in the Admiralty family to Thomas Foley, 1300 AD, Admiral. Right? So he's got an Admiral family. That's why he has approved the ship of design that will carry these big constructions in the sea fast. Rocket engines, and Melbourne University has approved the design, and also for the tourism industry in Samoa and New Zealand here at Rangitukia. They're going to build them at Rangitukia, East Cape, with the military. These are military ships, right? Very robust, strong, and fast. And you'll find you'll be surprised, Philip, that your military will have new ships. We've got aircraft to build, but not yet. They're the jet ones. Either the Boeing or the British Lapcat, a 2 hydrogen-powered plane. That's our main product, the fuel, to fuel those jets that can't get off the ground. We're going to make an airstrip. We want you, Philip, and the military, and Michael Fallon, the Secretary for Defence, to bring the equipment here to Rangitukia and put a military base up, airport for the big Russian Antonovs, and for the hydrogen planes, okay, and put the Air Force in there and the Navy. I got a place there for the Navy ships and King William, and put his Navy bases up here in Devonport, the Devonport here over the shore. Those people over there are arrogant and ignorant to thumb their nose up to King William's flag that was put up on the wall in the council buildings. The council told them to pull it down. You're going to get a big bill, or even kicked off there, because that's King William's estate. Okay, you're only occupying the land. Right? We can terminate it because the Queen's not there to give the money to. You're going to have to give it actually to me. Okay, just one more time. You're going to have to give the money to me as a trustee to replace the Queen on behalf of our people. If there's someone else who wants the job, they can have it. But I'm going in there to recover what belongs to us and New Plymouth. Plymouth, England. Plymouth, New Plymouth. All that estate over there is still another estate of King William. That's where we're going. Jamie and I are going to Plymouth in England. Matt Taylor, he's a good friend of ours now in Brighton. So you know enough for now of the projects, but we're going to Plymouth to do the land blocks. I'm in the real estate to investigate the title. Okay, and we're going to set up a base there and set up a base at Brighton, Wanoa, for the turbines. I hope they work all right. Good tides at Brighton, because we can put it close to London. But no, Dover is better, because we want to put the ship there for tourism, for the ferry to go from one side to the other, and turbines there because it's closer to fuel up for vehicles, electricity, and hydrogen. Okay, so all our hydrogen will go up the river to London, up the Thames, under the water. Right, those ships will go underwater and pull those tanks all the way, big heavy tanks full of fuel. Okay, no problem. Anyway, so that's all I wanted to say for now, because that other video I put together it was scratchy. I hope this one's not going to be scratchy, because I was trying to ring up Philip Hammond, but the phone won't ring. Anyway, I'm going to try again tomorrow in the morning and see if we can get through again. It's after midnight now, 23 past 12. So I think with that, I'll go to sleep and live for now. So, from me to you, good night.